All right, guys, I'm going to take a look at one more stock today. I'm going to take a look at NUMINUS Wellness. It's listed on the TSX Venture Exchange. Sorry I'm doing this so late. It's almost 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm like a vampire. I like to work at night. I was busy all weekend. I'm Italian. I was watching the Italy versus England soccer game. Very happy. Italy won. And I was at the parade and was busy all day. Otherwise, I would have done this earlier. Let's take a look at the chart. NUMINUS Wellness. So the stock was on a downtrend. Steady lower highs on the daily, day after day. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lower highs in a row on the daily. Was breaking bearish. Volume spiked just a little bit. Trapped some bears on the downside on this break of this critical support area. And then good news comes out and squeezed all those bears. Heavy volume poured in. I think this could carry some momentum over to this morning now. And we have this clear resistance area up here. It's around 107, and that's the clear resistance area. If bulls can break that, I'd be looking at this 150-day moving average, which is around $1.17 Canadian, and then this other resistance around $1.25. It probably is a little bit overbought in the shorter term time frames. Actually, not that overbought in the hourly, and this could be a big hourly bull flag. Looks pretty clear. Have our clear resistance trend line on that hourly chart. I do think this could see some follow through today. Now, it's not financial advice, but that's just my thought right now. It's in this clear range trading pattern where you have this clear resistance area, downsloping resistance area. So obviously the bulls are going to want to break and close above there. Otherwise, if they're not able to do that, then this pattern might play out longer into the coming weeks to see what happens there. Why did it break out? Why did it squeeze? So let's take a look. I took a look at the news. NUMINUS Wellness announces acquisition of Neurology Center of Toronto. And they're talking about it in here. And they're talking about that they'll have a fully operational neurology center with 13 doctors, 8 allied health staff, nurse practitioners, and physician assistants. And I looked a little bit into this Neurology Center of Toronto because I never heard of it before. 32 Google reviews, over 4-star reviews, so that's good. They got good reviews on Facebook as well. They have an Instagram with apparently over 6,000 followers. I don't know if they're real or not. I didn't take a look into that. But they have a decent looking Instagram. Looks like they put some time into this, so this is a legitimate company. Sometimes you see some acquisitions from these penny stock companies and stuff like that, and these acquisitions are very questionable. But this acquisition does not look questionable. This looks like a legitimate company that they're acquiring with reviews and a website and everything. So that is some good news for the bulls of this stock. And this company has multiple websites. They're saying they're at the forefront of innovation. They're accepting cryptocurrency for select services. They even have another website, NCT Virtual Neurology Center of Toronto. So this is a legitimate company that they're acquiring. You could see why the stock went up almost 23% on the news. Can the bull see follow through? We'll take a look. We are getting a bullish break above that 200-day moving average. Bulls are going to want to see that hold as a support. That's right around the $1 mark. If bulls are able to see follow through, like I said, we'll be looking at those resistances around $1.25, and then we'll go from there. I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. So we're looking around that middle Bollinger Band. This is a clear resistance area because it's still trading below the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly. Let's take a look at the monthly. Looks a little bit like a bear flag on the monthly, but might not play out. Now let's look. 107, 104, 107, 107, and that 125. Those are the clear resistance areas that we're looking at. Now, this looks like a potential little bear flag here, but if you look at a bit longer out, is this a potentially large monthly bull flag? I wouldn't say it's the clearest one, but a little bit of that idea is there. So it consolidated healthy around this area, looking for a break of this range, this big candle, the low of 74 cents, the high of $1.25. Obviously, we're closer to breaking bullish than breaking bearish, but our first levels to look at is at 107. And our next clear support around 83 cents, 86 cents daily. Also, the low of Friday, which was $0.89. Those are clear support areas. Let's look on the hourly. Support on the hourly, clear support on the hourly around 97 cents. If it does pull back, you can look to enter around that level with a stop loss below if this does happen to be a failed bull flag. But this looks like a bull flag. I would anticipate it to push a bit further. Let's see where most of the volume is. The volume tends to be at the highs when it spikes, so that is a little bit concerning. We want to see a break above 104 and see follow through towards that upper Bollinger Band on the 30-minute. And we don't want to get too far away from that red line, but we could get a nice push up towards here, that 150-day moving average. Then we'll want to see from there. So that's taking a look at the stock all around. You know, it's not always just technical analysis, it's news too. But when you have a bearish break like this, and it did break bearish, and then you have good news come out, it tends to surprise people. And we get days like this where it goes up 23% in one day. And you could have entered that day on the break of that lower high pattern. It didn't fill that gap, and it went straight up. And you could have recognized most of those profits without even having to be in the day before. You just would have had to know that news came out that morning. How do you know if news comes out? Well, if you're following a stock and you got a lot of stocks on your watch list, then you're going to know, because then you get updates and notifications on those stocks. Or you can look at sites like TMX Money to see the latest news on the stocks that you're looking at. You know, penny stocks like this, since there's so much news, there's no one way to find it unless you already know the company. Or if you got good ways of finding stocks, list them in the comments. Let me know. How do you find your stocks? So, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share. Press that like button, please. Share, subscribe. Thank you guys so much. And check out my site, 10baggerstocks.com. That's 10baggerstocks.com. I add a lot of helpful stuff up there for you guys to look at. So I'm just going to say my bias. I do think this could push further in the short term. Longer term, I'm not too sure about this company. We're going to take a look at MMed in another video later on, probably tomorrow. We'll take a look at that one. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.